Hey everyone, welcome to Science-Based Fitness. My name's Adam, thanks for stopping by the channel. Today's video, we're going to discuss a little bit about personal training. So I've been personal training since 2010 and we've surpassed that 10-year mark. We're approaching 11 years as of the filming of this video. And I want to discuss a little bit about how I've grown as a personal trainer, if I'd recommend it to individuals who are just getting into this field, if this is something I would do again, and give you a little bit better advice on my thoughts about personal training. So let's get right into it. Starting out in this field at 19 or 20 years old, I've definitely changed a lot over the years. I'm now 30, and looking back at where I started and some of the biggest differences, to give you better perspective on this, my general clients are either weight loss or general fitness. So those are the people that come into the gym trying to lose weight, or someone that's already in shape, just trying to stay in shape, just trying to exercise because they understand the benefits. I think one of the biggest changes I've experienced in those 10 years is the mindset on individuals who are trying to lose weight. When I was younger, I always kind of had the thought process that people are out of shape simply because they lack the willpower, or they just didn't understand what was healthy. I grew up playing sports, and I always saw the value in exercise. Along with good genetics, this was always easy for me to stay in shape. As I've learned, this isn't the case for everyone. A lot of people have different things going on in their life that can add to the stresses, that can add to the challenges in trying to lose weight. Now, I feel like I've become a better trainer understanding this, realizing that there's not just always a straight line. For example, someone that's dealing with a lot of psychological issues, from maybe a loss of a loved one or other, work-related issues, it's not always a linear path. It's great to be able to relate with people and get on the same page where at least you both understand that this isn't an easy task and it's going to take a lot of work. When you both are on the same page and on the same wavelength, it's easier to create a comprehensive plan that can move them in the right direction. I've definitely changed in my knowledge and understanding. I went to college for exercise science and I've gotten my degree in that. And it's funny because I really thought when I first started college was as soon as I'd be done, I'd be super educated and I'd know everything. And I think, it's kind of like the Dunning-Kruger effect. The more I've learned, the more I realize there's so much more I don't know. So with that being said, I definitely have learned a lot more as a personal trainer over the years, but I don't think education is ever done. We'll start with the cons first. There's always early mornings and typically split days. Now, a lot of days I'll start at 6 or 7 a.m., which isn't the worst in the world, but if you're not a morning person, it's a definite struggle and something you're gonna have to deal with going into this. So what that would look like is maybe a 6 a.m. to a 10 a.m., and then maybe a 2 p.m. till a 5 p.m. There's people that wanna work out on weekends too, so typically my schedule is open every day, and I schedule people when I can. It usually reduces the total number of hours I'll work each day, but spreads it out over all 7 days of the week. Con number 2 is that you're still technically a salesman. At the end of the day, if you're not selling your training packages, you're not gonna make any money. So you build a relationship with your clients, you build a friendship. In a perfect world, as a personal trainer, I would love to just focus on training people, not having to worry about the money aspect of it. But at the end of the day, you still have to focus on sales and making sure you're bringing in a proper amount of income. Now, the third con is that you have sporadic pay. I do a lot of in-home personal training where I'll see specific clients, and maybe I'll see someone 3 times a week, but then all of a sudden they go on vacation and you don't have any income from that specific client for that week. And it seems to line up where people typically go on vacation around the same time. Although there are ways around this, like charging your clients monthly, that's not necessarily something I do. Things like that will be specific to each trainer, and everyone seems to have a different way they operate. All right, now into some pros. There's a lot of flexibility and a lot of freedom when it comes to scheduling appointments. I use a calendar right on my phone. I can schedule appointments whenever I want. If I want to block Monday morning off for 3 hours, I can. But that does have a downside where if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. So depending on the type of facility you work at, you have a lot of flexibility. If you're at a private gym with building your own schedule, there definitely is a lot of flexibility going forward for whatever type of trainer you become. I think overall the pay is pretty decent per hour, although I will say I do a lot of in-home training, so I might drive to someone's house and you might get a good hourly rate, But then you have to factor in maybe a 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back. Then you might have a half hour until your next appointment starts. So you might only be able to fit 3 appointments in a 5-hour time span, where it's a normal job, you'd be getting paid for all 5 hours. In the personal training world, you might only get paid for 3 out of those 5 hours. Another pro is that this is something I love. I've always enjoyed exercise and I've always understood the importance. I grew up a hockey player and I always realized how important and how much better I would get at hockey the more I would participate in exercise and fitness related stuff. So, I really do enjoy it. And if you're someone that does enjoy it, maybe it's the right field for you. But hopefully this video is helping. And if it is, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. I create weekly content, not quite just like this. This is more an informative video. Most of my content revolves more around the evidence-based practices in fitness. So if that sounds like something you'd like, hit that subscribe button. And finally, would I recommend becoming a personal trainer and would I do it again? As of right now, at the age of 30, I would definitely still do it again. I would definitely change the way I went about it. I waited until I turned 25 to go back to college. I would have changed that around and went earlier, then maybe continued for a higher education degree, which I still might go for a master's or something in exercise science in the future. I think personal training is absolutely perfect as a part-time job for someone that's going to school for physical therapy, or maybe you're really into fitness and you're just continuing your degree. It's a great part-time job because it has that hourly rate that's good. And if you can schedule maybe 3 hours a day and fill those 3 hours a day, you can manage to have a decent income while in school. But I think personal training is a difficult full-time job because you're gonna find yourself at the gym 24/7. And for those that I do know who are full-time trainers, you're constantly working or constantly at the gym. I hope this video was helpful for anyone wondering if personal training is right for them. If you have questions, drop them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good day.